We are live. Okay, very good morning, America. Good evening, India. This is Sean Shankaran. I have our beloved Sam Pitroda with us. Today, we are going to talk about that interesting topic, EVM DemoCrazy. So, we are intending to talk about election integrity in general. There were multiple comments we have seen in this recent past, in this last couple of weeks. Elon Musk has made a comment. I am a technologist. I know a lot about computers. Won't trust them. It is just too easy to hack. It's just too easy to hack, adding just one line of code, and it is difficult to hack hand counted paper ballots, is what Elon Musk has commented on 19th of October 2024. And we have got Mr. Devasahayam, MG Devasahayam, former IAS officer, who have been running Citizen Commission of Election and have been protesting about this electoral integrity issue for quite long time in India. He has mentioned written an article in The Wire on Haryana elections. The unexplained last minute increase in voter turnout in Haryana raises fresh doubts about election integrity. So today we are going to have few more interesting guests like Mahmood Prachap, who is also on the fighting on the ground. So without much ado, I'll invite Sam Pitroda to give a quick introduction, and then we are going to have a very apolitical debate. It's going to be a very technological debate. Full disclaimer: Sam, myself are not representing Indian National Congress. We are going to bring our technological mindset to this discussion, and we are going to open it up. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Prembada. And special thanks to our friend Devasahayam for taking time from his busy schedule to be with us. Greetings, everyone, from Chicago. Elections are on everyone's agenda right now. In India, we have just gone through Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. And some of us believe that elections have not been fair and free. In America, there are elections going on through paper ballot, postal ballot right now. Millions of people have voted. And in next 12 days, we will know the results. So everywhere there is great deal of concerns on free and fair elections. Some of us have spoken about it for quite some time. Mr. Devasahayam is a distinguished senior IAS officer who has been leading the campaign for free and fair elections as part of a group of civil society committee under Justice Lokur. And this group has some great minds, including technical experts. I have benefited from their wisdom, learning. I've read their reports, and I wish more people would pay attention to what they have said and they've been saying. They have filed court cases, they have filed complaints with the election commissions, but in a system that seemed to be hijacked, where institutions don't seem to have the autonomy, it is very difficult to get listening as well as justice. The real issue here is not about electronic voting machines or VVPads or anything in particular, but it is all about trust. Are you really counting the vote I'm casting? And I believe as a voter, I have lost trust in the system. You may agree, you may not agree, but it is the responsibility of the Election Commission to establish trust. And they can't just not respond in the manner they should. There are technical issues and there are non-technical issues which relate to the logistics. Who manufactures the equipment, where it is stored, who delivers it, who fiddles with it, how can you put more votes in it? And now we have another friend of ours, Advocate Pracha, who has been leading this for quite some time. Both of these are experts, so I'm not going to take much time, but I'm happy that both of these people have been able to join. And I think this series cannot be finished in one session. We need a lot more conversation on this because on one hand, we need to have public opinion. On the other hand, we need to have technical data to back it up. But the situation is pretty serious. Elections are manipulated, period. How much, where, when are matter of details that can be discussed. Media constantly keeps asking why this party or that party complains only when they lose. I don't think it is about political parties, nor it is about winning or losing. It is about voters' right, trust, and breaching that trust. So rather than making this a party issue or an issue related to winning and losing, you got to see it from the larger perspective of voters. Recently, we found in Haryana, for example, some of the EVM machines are excess votes. They had battery life of 97% left. How is all this possible? Why isn't anybody answering these questions? You can't wish it away and say, oh, this is not important. Every vote is important. Every little issue should be answered by Election Commission. It is unfortunate that the political parties have not taken this very seriously. They may have their own reasons, but civil society, with people like Mr. Pracha and Devasahayam and many others, but these are two leading initiatives headed by these two people, time and time again remind us that elections are not fair and free. That manipulation has been happening, is happening. We have seen it in Haryana in many different ways. And we don't know who is doing what to whom. But something is going on. And that's good enough for citizens to be concerned. It is really a citizens' issue. It is an issue that needs to be taken perhaps on the street if people don't pay attention at Election Commission and Supreme Courts and governments. The key is to answer questions satisfactorily and bridge trust deficit. Over a period of time, since I got involved in it a couple of years ago, the trust deficit has increased and not decreased. And this is a great concern to me and to many of my colleagues. With this background, I would request our distinguished guests to quickly go over their side, and then we can open up for broader conversation. And I know this will take much more time. So the time allocated today for an hour may not be enough. So we can do it next week as well,
Sounds good,
because
sir.
Maharashtra elections are right there in a couple of weeks. And we believe, like Haryana elections have some unanswered questions, Maharashtra election will also have many unanswered questions. With this, I welcome first Mr. Devasahayam and then Mr. Pracha. Thank you for taking time, both of you, to join us. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sam.
Sam. Thank you, Sam, for this opportunity. And this is one subject I think we cannot sort of stop talking about. See, there are so many issues India has. India will have a population of 1.4 billion, out of whom 60 to 70% are outside the mainstream economy. They are living on survival kind of situation. There will be many issues. But I have gone through all this, most of them. And I was born before independence, and I've grown through the independence, more than 80 years now. So, but to me, the most important problem is the survival of India's democracy. If there is no democracy, there is no India. Let me be very clear about it. 1.4 billion plus democracy. If democracy perishes, India perishes. If India perishes, the whole world perishes. The whole free world perishes. People must understand the seriousness, because I find many people not understanding the seriousness and running after other issues. Wailing, crying, without addressing the core issue. Through the democratic process, a fascist system has taken over, and the fascist system will completely eliminate democracy. And they have been given a third chance. And this third chance, according to people like us, was through fraud. I am being very candid about it. Because the article that Shyam mentioned about was not about Haryana. I have not yet written about Haryana. The article is about the parliament election, Lok Sabha election 2024. Detailed analysis has been given, and we have established that there is a stealing of the mandate of at least 79 constituencies. Even now, and a formal notice was issued with clear information to the Election Commission of India on July 19th. Till now, we have not even received an acknowledgement. They have just put it in the waste paper basket, as if civil society does not matter. The tragedy is political parties have not taken up the issues at all. Ruling political party, we don't have grievance because they are the beneficiaries. But I am openly saying in front of all of you, you can convey the message to the people concerned. We in the civil society feel betrayed by the opposition. Feeling a betrayal by the opposition in general and the leader of the opposition in particular. July, August, September, October, 4 months have gone, where you have given a detailed report clearly establishing, because of the spurious injection of votes, spike of votes, unexplained spike of votes, running into 4.5 crores, unexplained. We feel tentatively that 79 constituencies have been stolen. And the opposition political parties have not taken it up as an issue. A betrayal. The betrayal of democracy. I have nothing at stake. For me, election is nothing new. I held my first election in 1972 as an assistant returning officer of parliament. Then 73 as a returning officer for assembly. Then 77 as returning officer for parliament. After that, I have been voting regularly, both on paper ballot and on EVM. We have a fair and interacting with the election commission very closely. Outstanding election commissioners. We have fair knowledge. And when we are talking with a sense of responsibility. But the way we are being treated by the media, by the Election Commission, by the Supreme Court, all right, they at least have been bought by the opposition parties who have 240 MPs with them, as if this matter does not exist at all. This is not acceptable. Now, let me come to the basics. Why we are saying 2024 election, parliament election was not free and fair. EVM is only one issue. We started it in 2019 itself because we sensed something fishy going on in the election commission. Let me tell you again, till 2017, 2018, whatever defect there was in the election system, whatever little hierarchy happened outside the election commission, mind you. Some sort of what do you call that booth capturing did take place. Some ballot sort of stuffing did take place. Some irregularities did take place. But all these happened outside the election commission. To our suspicion, for the first time, starting from 2017, 2018, the fraud started happening within the election commission. I am saying it with all sense of responsibility. Because of my background, we have certain information. After that, there has been no stopping. 2019, they did the trailer. Succeeded. Nobody noticed it. But we had our own doubt. We suspected. That's why the Citizens Commission on Election was formed, and we went into great detail and gave a clear finding that the Indian EVM system is unfit for democratic elections because there is no verifiability. Because of zero verifiability, it is unfit. Clear and better the top international experts, international and national experts. And there were other issues also, I don't want to go into it. We gave 2 reports, we published a book, we held a conclave with the opposition parties, very well attended. They promised to take over, take up the subject, except sending a complaint like mendicants, like ordinary mendicants, like petitioner, sending a complaint to the Election Commission of India. Political parties did nothing. Particularly Indian National Congress did nothing. They wrote a petition to the Election Commission. They did not take it up as a democracy issue. Then the assembly elections came. 2019, after 2019, nothing happened. Election Commission was not bothered. They became emboldened. Then the assembly elections came. We have been watching very closely. Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Clearly, there was stealing of the mandate. Though we had doubts, we did not analyze it. Then came the 2024. 2024, the danger signals. We rang the bell. Civil society came into hyperactivity before the election started and during the election. We went out of the way. We wrote to each and every returning officer, mind you. We lost faith in the Election Commission of India. And because of all the noise that we made, at least they did not sweep they did not do 400 plus. Otherwise, they would have done 400 plus and finished up the constitution by now. Because of the noise made by the civil society, not political parties, they were restricted to a certain number. They barely able to manage to form the government. But then we undertook a study. There are several other issues also. I don't want to go into it. A number analysis was made. Phase-wise it was made. After that, state-wise it was made. We found additional pumping of votes, spiking of votes up to 12.5% after the polling is over. As I told you, I have conducted the elections, 3-4 elections. Once the polling is over, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night, the number comes, a provisional number comes, and it does not come in percentages, it comes in absolute numbers. Control sort of is also, you press the button, only the number comes. Form A has got number 730 votes or 750 votes. Form 17C also has got the numbers. Nowhere percentage is reported. Presiding officer reports to the returning officer. Returning officer reports to the chief election officer. It goes to the Election Commission of India. Only numbers go. Percentage does not go. But provisional, normally they give a percentage, because absolute numbers are still will be coming in, because process will be continuing. Then 24 hours later, a second report comes. That must be only the numbers. How many votes? 1,20,000 crore, whatever it is, only the numbers can be given. This time, every phase they gave percentage 1 on provisional and also percentage 24 hours later. In some cases, 11 days later. In some cases, 5 days later. And when we found this variation between 4% to 6.4%, phase-wise, we went state-wise. Then only we were shocked. Orissa, we found 12.5%. Andhra Pradesh, 12.4%. Maharashtra, 8%. Haryana, 7%. About 15 states. Massive. How can there be such an increase of voting percentage after the polling is over? How is it possible? That is where the spurious injection of votes come in, because in our 2019 report, the international panel of experts very clearly said there has to be an end-to-end verification protocol. The voter must know her vote has been cast as intended, recorded as cast, and counted as recorded. This is the democracy protocol. And the Election Commission has been totally against it. They refused to count. VVPAT slips were refused to count. Only 7 seconds they show something, and most of the people don't even see the slip. So the Supreme Court order was violated, and the Election Commission went out of the way. What is their interest? They are only servants of the people. Even if it takes 5 days, 6 days to count the paper slip, what is their problem, Baba? अरे तुम्हारा बाप का पैसा जा रहा है. People are paying for it. We have government servants. Lakhs and lakhs of them, they are willing to work. What is your problem? Even if it takes 7 days, it doesn't matter. But I am telling you, it will not take more than 12 to 14 hours maximum. I know it. But these fellows give that useless excuse and went and told that to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also, judges are sitting there. They never bothered to cross-check. They just believed what the Election Commission says, and they completely finished off the verifiability. VVPAT was reduced to a mockery. So, the experts had warned us in 2021 itself, if this end-to-end verification is not there, there is every possibility of spurious injection of votes. So, as you know, in logic, you put 2 and 2 together. Since there was no, so that is the base on which our doubt started. And when these numbers came, mind you, I did not crunch the numbers. Somebody else totally was not part of our team at that time. A professor from Chandigarh. He crunched the numbers. He did a detailed examination, contacted me. Sir, this is what has happened.
Parallel girl.
Parallel girl. So we gave out the report clearly saying. So I'll conclude today because we need to have more question and answer. And
Thank
now
you.
we have Pracha also. Wait a minute.
Thank you.
A couple of minutes.
Thank you.
No, just a minute. So we gave this report so that the matter could be taken up. We issued a formal notice to the Election Commission of India, clearly giving a copy of the 300-page report tables, charts, this, that. Arey Baba, hame batao. All we asked them was, how did this spike take place? How did 4 crore 65 lakh votes take place? How this 12.5 spike? How this 8% spike? You just tell us, that's all. Election Commission could have easily told us because all the numbers are with them. They did not tell us. What does that mean? What does that mean? So instead of Election Commission replying to us, they bring in proxies. One gentleman called, I mentioned his name, I have to name and shame him repeatedly because he is in the confidence of the Congress High Command. Yoginder Yadav. He is the only one who attacked our report. The only one. Called me a fake. He calls me a fake. This is a fake report. EVM cannot make this kind of mistakes. Even EVM is sacred cow. And the Indian Express, which published an article, refused to publish my rejoinder. They cut it into pieces and there was nothing left. So I said no. So the point I am making is such a grievous issue that we have flagged. We sent it to the Election Commission. Election Commission is not bothered to reply. Supreme Court is not interested. Government will not protect them. Government is protecting them. Media is protecting them. And opposition party is just sleeping. So let me tell you, there's a serious discussion going on among the civil society that we are going to launch our attack on the opposition because we feel betrayed. Whatever little we could do before our days come to a close, we have to do something, and we may start a movement against the opposition parties, not ruling party, not Election Commission, not Supreme Court. I've told Mr. Advocate Pracha about it. He will take it forward. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. I am willing to give answer whatever questions that is raised in due course. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Mr. Pracha, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam Pitroda Saab, and good evening to everyone. Mr.
Good evening.
Shankaran and
Thank you.
Priyavada, ma'am. Good evening. I think the participants of today know pretty much about the details of the issue. I would only like to add 2-3 things in 2-3 minutes because Devasahayam Saab has actually covered everything. What needs to be said. Now, what is the action plan? I want to only say 2-3 points, and the first point is the people who are on the truth are very shy in speaking the truth with full force. We are very actually guarded in our words, but people who are lying through their cheek say it in a very stark and blatant ways. Like Election Commission recently said, EVM is 100% safe. So I think first fault lies here, and the biggest political party, opposition political party, is writing letters. So something needs to be done. What can be the action plan? Because technically everybody is convinced, and if there is one point which I want to make before Sam Pitroda Saab is Congress even today is in the process of undertaking an inquiry. So I have been saying this in public domain also, and Mr. Devasahayam is there. I am here. Between the two of us, and if need be, we will involve Dr. Pyarelal also from Chandigarh. We can give you all the research or investigation Congress party or India bloc or any political party, uh, if they want to have any kind of information, any kind of research, any kind of uh, invest- they Vishleshan, to be using the exact word which Congress party is using. So we have everything from A to Z. We have the biggest uh, bank of information technically, legally, and also data wise, on the technical aspects of EVM, on the legal aspects of EVM and the use of EVM and paper ballots, as well as the data collection. So, if anything is needed, please ask us. Please have a meeting with us. We will give you everything you need to come to a conclusion, so that there is no gap left and we have a straightforward case, 100% open and shut case for paper ballot, use of paper ballot, and against the EVM. That is one. Next is, if you see the comments in all the interviews which we have, I have, Devasahayam Saab has, or any other person who's, there are various other people who are speaking against the EVM. If you go to the comment section of these interview, you will find that 99% of the people are agreeing with our views that EVM is the biggest culprit. And therefore, EVM needs to go. Now, these two things are there. Now, how do we bring these opposition parties on board? Otherwise, we will have to find alternatives to the alternative. There is no third way. And we will try our best, and Devashayan Saab and all, they are discussing. The moment they give us green light, we will start protesting outside the offices of the opposition parties, starting from the Congress party. But we don't want to actually precipitate the issues in that way, but we are left with no option, because country is more important than any political party, and it is their responsibility. People, 65% people have actually voted against the BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi, and the responsibility to stop them and to take the lead and to do front ending is, has to lie on the doorsteps of the opposition parties. There is no way out. It's only, we have to discuss and find out ways and means to bring them on board, or launch a campaign against them, because otherwise people will have to be informed that these people, these political parties in which we repose our faith to stop these anti-constitutional powers in the country, they are not capable. We will be forced to do that. There is no third way. Now we have to actually discuss, devote our times to what next and how to chalk out a strategy, in what manner we should proceed. And we don't have much time. If now see, it is absolutely in the hands of Mr. Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, and Mr. Mohan Bhagwat. What is going to be the outcome of any election which is held in India? The outcome is totally in the hands of RSS and BJP. We have to realize this. So we should not get happy. We should not get sad. We should understand this reality that we have to stop EVM, and that will be the beginning. There are various other ways also which are required for a free and fair election, but this is the biggest culprit. And we have open shut case. I'm repeating this once again. We have open shut case against EVM, technically, legally, as well as data wise, the effect wise, which is visible. So let's chalk out strategy what to do next. Thank you very much. I will not take much time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Pracha. So I'll.
We have two more people who might want to add
Yeah.
something. Vishal, you want to take a minute or two? And Paul, you might want to take a minute or two. Go ahead,
Sure.
Vishal.
Good morning.
Quickly.
Good morning,
Don't
sir.
take too much time because we need more for conversation.
Good morning, sir. Thanks, Sam. So I have 2 points to understand and make it on the election commission. First, I want to challenge the gold standard of election commission, which they have called themselves. In the recent Haryana election and Lok Sabha elections, several times model code of conduct have been violated, which is a matter of concern and which proves the elections were not free and fair. The second point, which is even more important, is that number recently election commission has increased the number of votes from 1200 to 1500 and EVM and each EVM. I don't. Have my own doubts whether it is possible without the discussion of the political party. What kind of election commission is this, which passes the order without a paper discussion or a discussion or consultation paper with the political parties? these are serious issues which election commission has to answer. Instead of just patting their own back and saying "Ki, we are gold standard of elections in the world," I have my doubts and I have serious concern on these two issues, which I believe the group will take up, and we need to report to the election commission. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. I see Tara, you want to go next or Paul?
Paul?
I can just add one point. I feel that as the election commission and the EVM issues are quite relevant, and it's quite understood that there is something wrong going on there, and the so natural suspect is BJP. But the role of bureaucracy cannot be forgotten or diminished. Bureaucracy today is making this happen. It's just not the election commission. At the state level, at district collector level, ADM level, DC level, this is happening. And the protest when we do against the opposition party, which I feel there's a merit in pushing the opposition party to wake up and really take the cudgels against them. The role of bureaucracy is very important. These are the people who are collaborating with the EC. And when we raise our voices, these people should not be missed out. That's the only point I make. Thank
I think it's a very good point.
Thank you. Tara, you want to go next? Go ahead, Tara.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make a very quick point of if the opposition is really on the side of democracy and the people of this country, then they'll have to start walking that talk, because we've heard them during campaigns saying how pro people they are and how pro democracy they are, how pro constitution they are. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. We will have to, and I will talk about, what is concrete action going to look like. We have to figure out, and this is on an assumption that the opposition is on the side of the people of this country, the democracy, and the constitution of this country. And if that is the case, and I'm going to assume that for a moment that that is the case, then we have to find out and figure out how are we going to coordinate as the actors on the same side of this, who are looking towards how are we going to claim this back, because this is something that has been snatched out of our hands. We have a lot of other institutions that don't seem to be stepping up. That is a problem. If the judiciary is not going to step in, there is a problem in that. But then, where do the people of India actually come in as an element? And where does the opposition also come in, and how do they join together in pushing this? Now, the issue here is that the opposition, the members of parliament that we have elected and put in parliament, they have to figure out how are they going to use the mechanisms within parliament to push back. They've pushed back on a lot of other things. They've been very animated parliament sessions, but we have not heard anything on this part. This has to be, we have to figure out what are we going to concretely tell the opposition, what are they going to take back into the parliament. That's one sort of, if you like, a battlefield. And then there is how we, with the opposition party coordinating, how are we going to actually ensure that, we are going to have a whole lot of elections coming. We have two now. We have Delhi and Bihar next year. We have UP in 27. So this is a rolling plan. Now, every time if they're going to scuttle it, we're going to end up in 2027, 2 years before the next elections, with saying zero scorecard. Are we actually looking down that barrel? And are we willing to look down that barrel? So I am very interested in how are we going to enable coordination with the opposition, and how are we who are present on the ground, connected to the electorate, how are we going to connect what the electorate is concerned about? Because somebody mentioned that, and I absolutely agree that the electorate is very concerned. How is that combined with the opposition parties and the grassroots level organizations that are active on the ground right now in Jharkhand and Maharashtra and other states? How are we going to actually put our heads together, garner our forces together in order to actually be a little more outcome oriented? The analysis is done. Now it's time for action. And I'm grateful for all the analysis that is being done, because there is no two ways about it. It's in black and white. But enough analysis. We are drowning out everything else. We're drowning out action because we are going on analyzing. We don't need to. Now is the time for action. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tara.
you.
So, Sam, I will start with the first question and then I'll let Priyamata ask the subsequent question. Recently, Elon Musk made that comment that, okay, by just like adding one line of code, these kind of machines can be hacked and paper ballots is the safer way. I think he's talking more from the American context, or he's also talking about global context. There is a huge, even though there are not many people responding back only in America, there are a huge set of right wing coming from India responding to that, trying to protect that EVM's credibility. I don't think we all know the reasons. So I just want to hear out your thoughts. Long ago, you have mentioned that he's the golden boy with the gold. So when he speaks such matters, it's getting international visibility. What are your thoughts about Elon Musk's recent comments?
With great respect for Elon Musk, we don't need his comment. Okay. There are enough experts within India who have participated in the evaluation. They are PhDs, professors, scientists. I have also spent 60 years in IT and telecom. I also understand that, maybe not as well as some others. So I don't think we need certificate from anybody outside. Elon Musk gets a lot of publicity because he has a lot of money. That's all. Not because he has a lot of brains only. There are other people with brains as well. So let's not get hung up on Elon Musk. No disrespect for him. Please don't get me wrong. But more respect for people who have worked on this in India.
See,
Sounds good.
So I would not
I'll
even
add
bring Elon
something.
Musk in the conversation. Whatever he said is great, fine. But
I
let's
will add.
focus on what we have at hand.
I
How
will
many
add.
people have worked on it? There is a report by the Citizens Committee. These are all professors and scientists, and they are equally qualified. Some are more qualified. So can we pay attention to them? Then someone like Yogendra Adar, who is a non-technical man, to come and say something. Okay. So I think leave technical conversation to technical people. Has Election Commission ever invited those professors and had a discussion with them? I don't know. So my response to what you asked, Tan, is let's respect what we already have in the report. And like Tara said, now is the time for action and not looking at data and analysis. I agree with her completely. This is the time for action. And who's going to take the action? Okay, where are the people with courage? I always think of Gandhiji.
Sam,
when
I'll add something important to this. You see,
Please.
the problem with is what kind of rotten country that we are. Sam, what this fellow Elon Musk has said one sentence. Everyone is excited. Have we ever gone through that report of our 2020 report on EVM, volume 1 of CCE? Have you seen the names of the experts in that?
Yeah, that's very good.
The experts are not only technical experts, they are not only computer experts, they are statistical experts, they are election experts.
Yeah.
They have studied election for years from MIT, from Harvard, from India, IITs in India. I mean, the best brain we could ever assemble. That report is lying in waste paper basket. And Elon Musk said one sentence, we are all excited. Will you please read the report again? Clearly, it is written. If there is no end-to-end verifiability, spurious injection of votes can take place. And
Yep.
that is what is precisely taking place. We have the
Yes.
report in hand. I entirely agree with Sam. Why Elon Musk? Or we have got brilliant engineers. So let us, but the problem is political parties, even the opposition is not even looking at it. Not even looking at it. That's the problem.
Agree, Devasahayam. Pracha, you want to chime in or Tara?
I only want to supplement what Taraji has said. We have an open shut case. I mean, election commission is a fraud. We have to say this openly. He is committing theft. We have to say it openly. And what is the action plan? An action plan, I will only add to this what Taraji said, that it is on the streets. We have to hit the streets. And somebody was talking about the bureaucrats, and I totally agree with Paul when he said that the bureaucrats are on that side, judges are on that side. How is it going to be changed? The only way, see, bureaucrats are always fence sitters. If they see there are protests on streets, I have seen judges changing stance while we are appearing in these difficult cases of EVMs. Only yesterday, uh, I got a fine slapped up against me in Allahabad High Court for a very, very silly reason. Yesterday, we appeared and got that order stayed from the Supreme Court. And informally, I'll send you all the story. He said, "You are doing a very good thing, Mr. Pracha, but why are you embarrassing yourself so much?" So I responded that my embarrassment, when compared with the Constitution of India, I will 100 out of 100 times give up my honor and everything for the sake of constitution. So things change when you hit the streets. So we have to find out a way to hit the streets, and you will see bureaucrats changing sides. They are also not very happy. Many of them are happy, but many are not happy with the way they are being treated by the RSS and BJP people. So they will get some hope that yes, opposition is strong, and we have hope. So the role of opposition, and that's why we need opposition. Uh, uh, very important part which it has to play. We need them. They have to come with us. How to do it? We have to find a way. And we
See,
are ready to hit streets. People are ready to hit streets. That's a
on the,
given.
on the bureaucrats, I will tell you something because I have been a bureaucrat myself. See, when they find that there is nobody, political parties, people are not talking, only some isolated voices like people like us are talking, they feel that political parties have accepted it. Opposition has accepted it. See, now I am from the Haryana cadre. As soon as the report came, there was a Mr. Venu, editor of The Wire, came out with a poster saying that there is a jacking up of 7%. Will the election commission explain? I put it in my WhatsApp group. Normally, they immediately respond, "No, sir, no, sir, this is wrong, sir," and no such manipulation took place. Not there are 400 members in the group. Not one responded saying that this is wrong. Let me tell you, and all the returning officers are in the group. CEOs are in the group. Chief secretaries are in the group. Not one said, "Sir, you are wrong. This poster is wrong." There was no manipulation. Now Congress is just sitting and idly analyze कर रहा है. एक महीना हो गया, they are still analyzing. I have not written about Congress. I am on this question about Sham, about a paper ballot. I am writing a piece for the Wire the next couple of days. It is going to analyze in great detail EVM versus paper ballot. Some new points are also going to come in. Maybe hopefully within a week, the thing will get published. We'll be able to have,
Can we focus on what Tara has said? Action.
that's what is important.
Let's talk about action. What is the action that we would want?
Devasahayam, Pracha, what do you guys think about Tara's proposal? See, kind of civil societies, opposition, what are the asks, top ask, 1, 2, 3?
What? Tara is saying what after our discussion only. We have given our views. Let the people come from the trenches and let them give their views.
Sure.
Let us, I can propose something. Let us hold a symbolic demonstration outside the Congress's office, because that's the main opposition party, asking them to join our struggle, asking them this simple question whether you are with EVM or against it. You clarify so that we know.
Are you with the people or not? Because
Yes, we
75%
can
of the
talk out
75%
the yes.
of the people are against EVM. 75% is against EVM.
Let's start with that, and then the other political parties also, the opposition political parties. And Congress's name comes first because it's the largest party. That's
Yeah.
why it's the number one opposition party. Otherwise, we
Yesterday,
could have started from somewhere else also. So that
yesterday,
we have to do. And coupled with that, I also propose that one of the places in Delhi, we hold a permanent kind of sit-in, 24/7, so that we can increase the crowds and decrease the crowds. We can find out a place like Jantar Mantar and all. We'll have some difficulty in finding that place and placing ourselves there or consolidating our position there, but that we'll have to fight it out. So these two proposals, I think we should consider immediately and get going. I mean, we don't have time. Maharashtra election, they will get more powerful. See, what this will have a cascading effect. There is an avalanche which is coming our way. We have to realize this. It's coming. We have to stop them. At least they will do less mischief, even if the elections in Maharashtra and Jharkhand are there. If we are raising this ruckus on the streets, they will be able to do less manipulation. And we have also devised various methods to how to neutralize or reduce the manipulation of EVMs. But nobody is talking to Devasahayam Sahab. Nobody is talking to us. Nobody is interested. What do we do?
Yeah.
there is a question from right wing. One of the person Mukul Akochia from Twitter is saying, "Okay, we are misinforming our audience. Listen to Election Commission of India's response." I think he is talking about that EVM battery like calculator, not mobile. So Election Commissioner responding to the Congress charge. So any of you want to take it up? Pracha,
No,
Devasagaya?
this time of discussion is over. Election Commission is a fraud. This is a fifth class standard. Child can counter Election Commission. Let's not get into that.
Okay.
It's
I
not.
think,
It's
I mean,
waste
can
of
I
time.
just,
They're frauds.
Sean, this letter of Congress to the Election Commission on this battery, I call it childish.
no,
Because
but
that is not the issue. That is not the issue.
I just feel, I mean, we are also sort of circling this and not jumping in. I mean, I think the whole idea is there are. I mean, first of all, we have to know which are these constituencies, if you don't mind me using that word. There are there is the political class, the opposition. There is grassroots level organizations. There is the bureaucracy. There are people. We are naming all these people. They have a role to play. The point is, when it comes to action, we're talking about two things. What is the role that these two, three, four, there may be more, three constituents are going to play? And what is the relationship between these three, one on one to two, three as a cluster? What are the things that we are going to actually make happen because we find ourselves on the same side? Now, I think, instead of sitting here and, getting into into the weeds, if you like, of now we must again prove our point of whether this is true or false. We are going with the assumption this particular panel is talking about is for moving forward on the basis that, on very credible data, that the EVMs are bad news and the election commission is bad news for democracy in India. That's it. And that all that is playing towards an anti people, anti democracy, and anti constitutional way of working and normalizing it. This is what we have to break. And identifying at least these three actors, these three constituents, we have to figure out what are the roles that we have to play in respect to this agenda. I think that's, I mean, there is no other focus. And yeah, as Mr. Pracha said, yes, we have to make it visible. There is not, I mean, apart from that report going, that notice going to the Election Commission, sorry, I may be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But administratively, what have we done so far? A report and a notice has gone to the ECI in this battleground. I'm talking of the battleground. I'm not talking about what is happening on the sidelines, who all are writing about what and all that. I'm talking about the action space. The only
Tara,
action that has
Tara,
happened is
I will respond. We have been intensely interacting with the Indian National Congress.
wow,
Intensely.
there you
Not
go.
only me. Not only me. I don't want to mention names. Part of our team. Intensely, and hopes were raised repeatedly. Repeatedly, hopes were raised, only to be dashed. That's why I use the word betrayal.
Hmm.
We are not keeping quiet because we wanted them to act on that notice. At least take it to the parliament for a discussion. Civil society has issued a notice. They have brought out concrete points. What you have to say. So we were waiting for 3 months that the principal opposition party will take it up. Now there's a sense of betrayal. So we now take it in our own hands, whatever little we can do. I have been in touch with all these people, leading people, continuously. I don't
Yeah.
want to say
And, and from
anything
our,
more.
sorry, Mr. Dev, and from our side, we have started protests, and we have also filed cases for Haryana elections and Jammu Kashmir elections. And
Great.
already we are having a lot of litigation going on exposing the theft which has been committed by EVM by way of videography and all. So that's why I'm saying we have an open shut case. Any day,
You know,
any place, election commission wants to have a discussion with us in public domain, we are ready. We will send them to smithereens. I can vouch for it.
This election
But
commission
we
will
don't want to
never
discuss.
discuss. No, no, wait a minute. This election commission will never discuss. All the three are fascists. Three commissioners are fascists. They are lackeys of the ruling party. They will discuss nothing.
yeah, I just want to say that we
Because
cannot,
I'll tell you
I
one
don't
thing, Tara,
believe,
because for on much smaller issues in Tamil Nadu election, I remember 10, 15 years ago, I got the entire election commission convened. I flew down, went out from Chennai to discuss that matter. It was resolved across. All the three commissioners were sitting there. That's the way commission was functioning 10, 15 years ago.
When was the last time commission met with the civil society?
December 2018. That's it.
Now, that itself says it.
And that too, there was a good chap called Rawat, who was the chief election commissioner.
Yeah, but why can't we now force election commission also to have a meeting? That's
No,
all.
our constitutional conduct group, we people, we are mild senior to these characters. We have tried our level best. They have been humiliating us.
But how come they don't meet? That's just not
They
acceptable.
don't. Sam, they've closed the gate. They have put high security. See, the other day during the
No,
election,
they should invite civil society.
invite. The question does
Yeah.
not arise.
And
There's no civil
get
society
caught
for them.
stealing. I really don't agree with that because
See,
they can't invite us and get caught stealing the votes.
wait a minute. I'll tell you
They
why.
post them in
Let me,
5 minutes.
I challenge Rajiv Kumar normally. Can you spend 5 minutes with me? He's making this big nonsense talking about EVM. Can you spend 5 minutes with me? He will not. He will not dare.
So
They're
what
scared.
would it take? What would it take for election commission to be convinced that they should meet with civil society at this
Parliament.
time?
Parliament
I
should
mean,
summon them.
if I may
I think
say, it's not about how to convince them. It's more about how do you draw them out.
Right. Okay.
I know I'm
Okay.
splitting hairs,
No, but
but
I
it's a
take
very
your point.
different dynamic here. It is about how do you draw, it is as bad as how do you draw the opposition out into getting into action. This is about drawing people out. And we have reached that point. This is not about sweet talking with the opposition anymore. It is about, and I myself don't believe that they should be let off the hook. Okay, now civil society will do everything.
There are
नहीं, नहीं, ये
promised.
नहीं चलेगा. I
Jairam
want
All we are asking for is a fair hearing. All we are asking for is
no,
responding to our questions of the
they have
civil
made,
society.
no,
I
they
mean,
have
that's what
made up their
democracy is all
mind.
about. I don't
They have,
understand.
they have made up their mind not to. They are a bunch of fascists, I said. Jairam Ramesh is writing letters. What letters he is writing? He has become mendicant. Mendicant, we say mendicant. You are a principal national opposition party begging
I will,
for a hearing.
I will like to give the example of SEBI chief. There is no point meeting them. There is no point meeting them. Even if there is a online meeting, I mean, in front of the
No,
press, they
she,
have such thick skin. They will walk
Sam,
off.
Sam, I have been a bureaucrat. I have
Online
appeared before Public Accounts Committee. But if the Public Accounts Committee summons you even for a good cause, you feel so scared. And this woman did not even go to the Public Accounts Committee.
But isn't there a person that they would listen to, that they would stand up and say, yes, this is dignified person in the country?
We are all undignified
Mr.
people.
Narendra Modi. Mr.
No,
Narendra
that's
Modi is
not what I'm
leading.
talking about. I'm talking about from
Amit,
civil society.
Amit Shah.
No, Amit Shah ji.
Yeah, Adani,
Mohan
maybe
Bhagwat
Adani.
ji. Mohan Bhagwat ji. Mohan
Civil
Bhagwat.
society,
No,
civil
no, no, no,
society
no.
नेता,
Think
civil
about what
society
you
नेता,
Sir, may
civil
I ask?
society में Adani है.
Yes.
Adani
Is there any
is
person? Sir, just may I ask and respond to Taraji's things. He's right. How to draw them out? Is there a person whom Congress party would like to meet? Or they don't?
That's a good question.
I see Priyamada has a question. Go ahead, Priyamada.
Yeah, I have a question to everyone. Do you think the Congress party or any opposition is not coming out, as you would have liked them to? Because there are some of the states where Congress has or other opposition have won state elections, with the same EVM. So always BJP has this say that Congress always complains when they lose any state. So what do you have to say about this allegation?
This is a pedestrian excuse. Please don't raise it.
Right.
Because it's like gambling. Las Vegas gambling done. They will decide who wins. They will decide who loses.
Yeah, that's true. That's very simple.
No, and
Very
there's a
simple.
very definite thread here, Priyamvada. You see, there is a report that came out. It was sent as a notice to the ECI, laying out certain data, which is ECI's data. It's not like somebody else has manufactured it, right? We will stick to our thread. The problem with all of us, this entire country, is we love distractions, and we love getting distracted, and we love distracting each other.
I entirely agree.
Let's not get distracted. Now the point is, Priyamvada, this is not about 2018 में ऐसा हुआ था और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने वो जीते थे.
Yeah.
I don't care. हम
Exactly.
अभी की बात कर रहे हैं. भाई बताइए 2024 में क्या हुआ? आप उसका जवाब दीजिए. नहीं दे सकते हैं. चलो अब आगे बढ़कर क्या करना है, किसको क्या करना है, ये बहुत साफ तरीके से हमें क्लियरली बताना पड़ेगा और एक साथ आना पड़ेगा एकजुट होकर. क्या है ऑपोजिशन का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, वो उनको निभाना ही पड़ेगा. वी कैन नॉट से अच्छा तुम नहीं कर सकते हो तो ठीक है हम ही कर लेते हैं, हम रूठ के चले जाएं. रूठने का टाइम नहीं है ये वी विल होल्ड देम अकाउंटेबल. The opposition is accountable. We have voted them in, and it is my tax-paying money that keeps them in parliament, and that's that. And
Paul has a comment.
Standing like this, no. Sorry, Sam.
No, I'm just saying Paul wanted to say something. Thank you,
please,
but
Paul.
Tara, thank you very much.
I was just saying that we have to crack into that media house somewhere. We need to have a very high profile interview done by a media, and that could become a starting point for us to kind of take the conversation, take the narrative to a larger stage. If we are able to manage one good journalist, an effective journalist who can interview one of us, I think that could be a very good starting point. If we can manage that, maybe I know a few people.
Interviews from Pracha, there are interviews from Devasahayam.
We have done so many interviews.
I've seen some.
We have done so many interviews.
Let me respond to
Online.
Yeah, online.
On
Very good interviews. From Channel 4 and others, I've seen some. Superb.
I have done many of them.
Let
Yeah,
me respond to Ms. Priyamada's
Racha
question.
has done many.
sure.
We have answered all these questions threadbare.
Right.
Yes.
So
All these, if
let me
Congress
respond to
loses,
Ms.
wins,
Priyamada's
we've
question.
answered them through and through.
So let me respond to Priyamada's thing. Priyamada, let me throw back this question back on them. Why don't election commission meet our CCI group and satisfy the on the notice what we have sent? That will be the end of the story. Let them satisfy us. We are not asking
Now
anything.
we are again going back. They will not do it. I told you.
I agree, sir. I agree. I'm just responding to your
Fascists don't meet people.
no. I agree, sir. Unless and until people come from the street, they don't meet people.
You have to hit the street. You have to hit the street without any doubt.
Okay, so going back to action.
But the mysterious part is why is not political parties not acting upon this? That's
Yeah,
a
that is
mystery.
also a question. Yeah.
That's a
They all,
mystery
when
for me.
I will tell you very frankly on public platform like this, that whenever I talk to people in the Congress party, they all agree saying, yes, this is important. We are all with you. I have spoken to, everybody. I have spoken to, Digvijay Singh, who has been leading this effort. I have spoken to, Khargeji. I have spoken to Rahul, and, they all are in tune. But I don't know why it doesn't get the kind of response we need.
No, but you
Because
see, the
because
problem
because
is
Yogindra
that
because
there is a
Yogindra because Yogindra Yadav continues to be their advisor.
no. Okay, let's not. I mean, the thing is, you see, this is not whether or not. It's not a
Yeah,
menu of options. Do you
right, right,
want
right,
to or
right. I
not?
think they
This is
can do their
about
thing. We have to do
what
our
is.
thing.
Yeah, you are bloody accountable to us. We are the
Simple,
electorate.
simple as that.
That's
Yeah.
it. And you can't say, "Ha, we are with you." अरे हमारे साथ क्या? What does that mean? You are part of an institution called the legislature. You are the main actor in that legislature, and you are not doing anything. And just tell me that's a gaping hole in the entire strategy talking about action. And we can say, right, let's do the media stuff and let's do on the ground stuff, but we cannot have this gaping hole where the opposition is silent.
How
You
about a
can't.
letter from a civil society to India Alliance?
I have written.
No,
I
ask.
copy to you.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying now asking
No,
for
no,
meeting, saying
no,
this
no.
is urgent.
No more letters. I am humiliated.
Okay.
3 letters, and I have written this at the request of Digvijay Singh, a
Yeah,
former chief minister whom I respect,
right.
former chief minister of a large
No,
state.
actually,
He
we need
requested me
to.
to write.
No, we
Twice he
need to.
requested me, so I wrote.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, I mean, just to, step back one for a second and say, this is how far we've come with the work on
Right.
the electoral integrity. This is how far we've got to. These are the things that are in place. And then say, and of course, there have been delays, there's lack of response, ये सब, but उसको सबको छोड़ देते हैं अभी के लिए, 2 minute के लिए. Now, given where we are at and where we've got to, Abhi, what are the basic steps given that there's been lack of response? You see, campaigns are you have to beat your head against the brick wall or stone wall or whatever it is. Ye nahi, you have to find different ways of hitting the wall also. So I think we have to figure out. See, we have to draw them out. The opposition is not going to get off the hook. So we have to figure out what are the ways in which we are going to draw them out. And this is not going to be फर्स्ट बारी कर दिया तो बस हाँ लकी स्ट्राइक ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है क्योंकि सब उसमें बहुत कुछ मिला हुआ है इट इज नॉट लाइक कांग्रेस इज ओनली कांग्रेस हैज अ हेल ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ आरएसएस इन इट आल्सो so we have to be very careful and I'm going to call this out very openly. I mean, everybody knows this. So in that case, because we are allowing them to win, the rats who are in there, the bandicoots within Congress. If we say हमने पूछ लिया वो कुछ नहीं कर रहे तो हम अपना कर लेते हैं, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. So I think we must take stock of where we are at, and literally we have to bang our head. Be prepared to bang our head for the next time, maybe not the final time, for the next one, to prepare ourselves, figure out अरे who's going to figure out कि भाई कांग्रेस के अंदर क्या चल रहा है. ये आपको चिट्ठी 3 बार लिखी गई है, आप क्या करने वाले हो. आपका एक रोल है. We want to hear कि आप वो रोल कैसे निभाने वाले हो. ये नहीं है कि वेदर और इफ की बात ही नहीं है यहाँ. ये
No, Tara, we
निभाना
need you. You're good. Tara, we need you. We
So-
need you badly. Okay.
So there is a question from Twitter.
Totally 100%
viewer.
agree.
Sorry.
There is no option left. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
Okay, I saw a question from Nagendra also. Can we look at that? And also, Premada, go ahead.
So there is a question from Twitter user. Can you just unmute and ask your question, please?
Yeah, thanks, Priyamuda. Hello, everyone.
Just
It's very
please be
nice to
brief,
see you
okay?
guys.
Yeah.
And also speak louder.
Yeah, no, I said,
Am I audible?
yeah, you are. He is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of you are my heroes, like Pracha Saab, Devasahayam sir. And I was glad to hear Miss Tara, like she was most forthright. But I want to go a step further. Okay, so I just want to add a perspective. Like there was a press conference on 25th Jan of this year, where like Devasahayam sir had attended, and that time the discussion was whether like EVMs were like in principle bad because they were not satisfying democracy principles. Like everything could very well be honest, but the voters don't get to see, therefore they cannot trust the process. So theoretically there could be a scam happening and so on, and therefore we wanted ballot papers. Now the situation is different. It's like after the vote for democracy report, it is as if like just assume for a moment that we did have like ballot papers, and there was evidence that there was stuffing of those ballot papers in many polling booths. It was observed some places. It was videographed with like mobile phones and all. It's like evidence is all there. And then after the result comes, like Congress party tries to hide it, tries to suppress it, tries to give a false narrative to its own workers, saying we lost because in this constituency because we didn't do hard enough. There was, we didn't work
sorry,
hard enough.
Raven, can you keep it brief, please? Sorry.
I'm just giving a perspective. So just allow me. I'm not asking a question right away. I will ask
go
a
ahead.
question. Just allow me, please. I hope I'm adding to the conversation. So please allow me. Okay. So I'm saying, is there evidence, first of all? Like if vote injection has really happened, then and also if there are Form 17C parts 1 and 2, it must be reflecting in those, right? Like I read the VFD report, and it says in Tamil Nadu, there was 7.63% vote hike. Now, I have seen a tweet of DMK IT wing, which said that they had collated data from 68,300 and whatever booths of all the 17 Cs. So if they had it, why did they not publish it? Like, is DMK party, is Congress party, all of them, are they colluding or are they compromised, the leadership? Like, I think the civil society has to go with that working assumption that they are compromised, and it is up to the opposition leadership to prove that no, they are not compromised, and it is only the election commission. That is the only place where they should attack. Like, why are they not publishing all the 17C they have, and then tell us whatever they didn't get or they were denied by EC and all that, which is fine, we can understand. But why are they not publishing that? We would also like to have other info that's mentioned on 17C, like the machine numbers and all. That's data that will tell us, like, if certain machines are helping them in Haryana and if those same machines are deployed elsewhere, etc. I'm saying that's all info of public interest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Opposition parties are hiding the evidence, not just not doing enough. That's another thing. If they're hiding evidence, then I'm saying they're colluding, and we have to call out that collusion. Like we say, EC is compromised, SC is compromised, government is compromised. We have to say all of politics of India is compromised. That's the perspective we have to go with.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. And I'll let Sam respond. Sam, you want to respond?
No, I said I agree that everybody should be open and transparent, publish whatever data they have. and there are enough young people to analyze the data online, and we should facilitate that.
Okay.
I agree.
I would
are
like
on the
to add a
One,
word here.
Yeah, go ahead.
another
I
person.
would like to add a word.
Yeah,
Election
go ahead,
Commission is
Prataji.
not giving these details. See, they are not giving it to anyone.
Yeah.
In fact, we have filed a case. They are not giving it to anyone. Even the political parties don't have it. But what this person was saying is absolutely right. They should come out and say Election Commission is a fraud. They are not giving us these details because
Right.
political parties have got
Yeah,
a greater right than a common person like me.
I'll give a response. Now, it's a very good question, and I have to give this response. They are selectively targeting the Indian National Congress. Their target as of now is Indian National Congress. They want to shrink them to the extent possible
Yeah.
and make them ineffective.
Yep.
Once they have achieved it, they did it in 2019. They did it in the 3 assembly elections of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan. They did it in parliament election, and they have done brazenly in Haryana.
Yep.
As of now, their target is not regional parties.
Yep.
Once they've taken care of Congress with the help of the sleeping cells inside the Congress, they will turn their attention to regional parties, join us. If not, that is a strategy. So that is why we are now bothered about the Congress party. Congress party may go away as a principal opposition, then there will be no democracy.
Agree.
Yeah,
That's the point. That's why we want to attack the Congress party.
Sir, let me respond to Devasahayam sir. When absolute numbers were converted into percentage in 2019 and 2024, Congress party did not react it at all. The data was changed, the presentation of data was changed, they did not react it at all.
No,
Today,
that's not true. That's not true.
so
They took very long. They came out. They took
it came
their
out with the
time.
heat.
They looked at the report that Vote for Democracy brought out. They took their time. They came out, but they have not gone a step further as far as the public domain is concerned. I am only interested in what's going on in the public domain. I am not interested in what's happening backdoor.
Tara is completely, absolutely right. See, that's why, Sam, I said this is a mystery. You are what that gentleman who assists Jairam Ramesh, that what's his name? Kheda had a press conference.
Yes, he did.
I saw the press conference.
And Sandeep Dixit, both of them.
After a few days, Sandeep Dixit
Yes.
made a press conference, and in my presence, Sam talked to Sandeep Dixit. अरे उसके बाद हुआ क्या?
कुछ नहीं हुआ.
All that happened was Yagundar Yadav wrote that nasty article, and he is the advisor. ये नहीं कि उन्होंने notice नहीं किया. 2 senior personalities held press conferences exclusively. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is a mystery for me.
I see Paul has a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I have a feeling that one narrative is missing from all, including Congress and even the civil society. We are unable to very specifically tell the people of India what exactly they are being cheated of when this EVM related fraud is happening. A lot of people would consider this as a fraud happening in a process, but how it impacts their life economically, specifically economically, that is a narrative that is yet to hit them. And if Congress had learned how to communicate that, they would have taken it up. I think there's a problem that Congress is fighting for. They don't know how to tell the people that people are saying, "Tika, you lost. It was your loss." But instead of that, it's people's loss, and how they lost it. That particular narrative, that explanation has not been achieved by even the civil society is not able to explain it properly. We are talking on principles of democracy, which is being cheated. But how are the people and their day-to-day life, their future being affected if that narrative was there? It's very easy for the opposition to ride upon it.
I agree with Mr. Koshi. You see, decency of accepting people, so-called people's verdict is all right when the elections are free and fair. When the elections are not free and fair, this decency is out. This decency is criminal. We'll
And
accept
just
people say, oh yeah, that idiot. I don't
We
know
have
what
been
kind of man is he.
aligning.
नहीं नहीं एक मैं सुरजेवाला वो राजेंद्र जी क्या हरियाणा का वो एक जोकर है who calls himself a big leader. He accepting the verdict without even verifying to what extent the election was free and fair.
Yeah. Other questions from
I think
social media?
there are few comments about from Joseph Brito and others. So, but Sam, in summary, we have 823 users. We are already 20 minutes past the
It's
show.
okay. That's okay. Let's see. We can continue this next week, but we need to
Yeah.
sort of have a closure
Just-
today, and that is we need to design.
No, but
Yeah.
any
The action
I
plan.
have one
want
summary
to-
comment I want to make.
any
Go ahead, Tara.
strong
Go ahead, Tara.
I just wanted to. I
any
just want to add on that point that
strategy
Paul
finalized?
brought up.
Go ahead.
The point that Paul brought up. So what's happening is, I mean, where you can
Balaji, I would
do
only
this,
like to say this. What about roadmap? Please, please.
Yeah, but let
I
Tara
I
speak.
just
Tara.
want to say.
Roadmap, there is no time today. We'll do it next week.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Tara.
So just to in response to Paul, so you see, when you start talking about narrative and messaging, it is so in Jharkhand and Maharashtra, this is one element of the campaigning that's happening on the ground, which is about इन्होंने हमें पहले भी धोखा दिया, अब ये देखिए अब यहाँ क्या होने वाला है. Because and can you actually vote for such a party which doesn't even believe in democracy? So this is part of the campaign on the ground. But you see, that is one channel. The campaigns have multiple channels. That is one channel, and it is an opportunity. But there is we have to start the erosion of what is going on now. क्योंकि ये लोग normalize कर रहे हैं. So I mean, I think in terms of what are these various elements going to be of the strategy, I think need to be discussed. And also, I truly believe we can't just start with a blank slate. We have to take stock where we've got to, and we have to go back to wherever we left off, whether it is with the opposition, whether it's gone, whatever. We will have to do it, whatever the irrespective. I don't see any other way out. How we do it, with whom we do it, we have to discuss that. But yes, definitely, this can now go on. I don't think we should anymore discuss analysis. It is only pure action.
Yeah, yeah.
And we
Maybe
shouldn't even entertain questions about ये ईवीएम के वो वाला कुछ नहीं. आप एक्शन के बारे में क्वेश्चन है आपके पास इनपुट है एक्शन के बारे में, तो बोलिए आप.
So I think it was a very well made reply. Next week, maybe we will targetedly discuss action items, Tara. In summary, I think I joined Congress in the getting inspired by Rahul's Bharat Jodo Yatra. See, I think the buck stops with Rahul Gandhi and Indian National Congress. So I think let's not beat around the bush, because people are looking up to Rahul to speak. In fact, when he spoke about EVM during the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra at the end of the Yatra in Maharashtra, there was a huge kind of a positivity among all the EVM protesters that Rahul is speaking about. So I think people see Rahul as a face of this whole fighting fascism. So I think Rahul leading this whole EVM thing, or as part of an Indian National Congress, is going to be the one which is going to inspire the next generation youths like me, Priyambata, and others. So when we can create a ruckus for Manipur, and stalling the entire international community and even our own parliament, why this EVM issue is like 1,000x magnitude of Manipur? Why are we not doing that as an entire opposition, as Indian National Congress and the India Alliance? So if we think we need to get that imagination of India and international community, we can. So I think the buck stops with Indian National Congress. I think what are the action items to get the imagination of Indian National Congress, Rahul Gandhi? Let us discuss next week. I'm sure Rahul is a face, and I think he should maybe listen to this also and try to see how he can accommodate a lot of our concerns. Try to maybe kind of appeal to the Indian public, doing right protest and taking it to a larger magnitude, and help us save the democracy, because people are feeling cheated by Indian National Congress. They think they are the moral authoritarian who can fight this, or who should fight this. So I maybe we can summarize there, and we can next week we can meet on the action item, Sam, if you are agreeing.
I
Just
agree.
one,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
one comment. So all of you, do you think we can save Maharashtra and Jharkhand, or is going to be just like Haryana if we don't
Like
any of the
I think
Devasahayam,
a lot of work.
yeah,
No,
like Devasahayam ji said.
sorry,
20%
I think it's the wrong question. I'm sorry, Priyamvada. It's the wrong question. It is about how are we going to do it. This
Yeah,
is not whether or if are we going to save it or not. ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. अरे बाबा, we are the ones who have to step
yeah,
up. We are not bystanders of our own democracy here.
true.
And Priyamata, it's
How are
about
we
taking
going to do it?
responsibility. For example, yesterday while I was speaking to Devasahayam ji, he was mentioning, see, Modi got voted only by 35% of the people. Rest 65% of the country is trusting in the opposition. Rahul Gandhi's role as the leader of opposition is leading those, representing those 65% of people who didn't vote for that Narendra Modi and BJP's thesis. So he has more obligations and responsibility. So let's look up to see how we can, Indian National Congress, we can try to see mobilize our influences. A few of us have some good voice, including Sam. So will try see our level best. I think, but today we represent both Sam and myself represented on our individual capacity. But still, we are also concerned about this whole thing, lack of action or lackluster efforts from our side. Thanks a lot, Sam. Next
Thanks,
week
everyone.
we'll.
No, thank you, Sean, Priyamvada, and all our guests. I think we had a good conversation. But let's continue next week on the same topic. Focus on action. While we are taking action at different level, Pracha is not waiting for next week's meeting. Devasahayam is not waiting for next week's meeting. So I think we need to really push harder. I will work at whatever level I can with the party, and we'll take it forward.
Thank you, Sam.
There's a lot of energy here, and I appreciate your time and energy and ideas. So let's continue.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you,
Tara,
everyone.
we don't have your personal information. Maybe if you can send a note, I'll appreciate. We can send
Mr.
you the.
Devasahayam has my details because he forwarded me them. So if you, maybe
Sure,
that's the easiest way. I don't mind giving it to
sure,
you.
sure,
It
sure.
may be just easier that way.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll get it from there.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a
Thank
lot.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.